feel that quarantine is the best for the fish. Customer contacted me the day I was doing the order and said, have you got any green Siamese fighters? No, but I'll see if I can find you one. And there we go.
Hi there, welcome back to Big Fish Little Fish Aquatics. So today we're back at the water garden and it's a really exciting video today. So they've allowed me to come in when they've got an import of fish. So we're going to do an unboxing, we're going to take a look at what fish they get, and we're also going to show you how they quarantine their fish to make sure that they're ready, healthy for their customers when they come and get them. So let's get into this. So as you can see here, this is the water garden's quarantine room. So it's all set up ready for the import of fish to come in. You can see they've got in here some under gravel filters. These are like smaller tanks for smaller fish such as betta and things like that. This is their plant quarantine. So all the fish are going to be coming in and we'll get to it. We're here today with Ben from the water garden, and we've got some live fish here today. So Ben's just going to show us how we get them unboxed and then get them into quarantine, ready for his customers.
As a general rule of thumb, for being caught to being unpacked, we're looking at a 24-hour time window. So what we do now is quite critical that we get these in and settled as quickly as possible. They are bagged. This particular box in 8s, which means that we'll be dealing with 8 bags of fish in one box. Give them a quick check over, and then we get them into the tanks as quickly as we can. Good thing now is that these shippers are now starting to use photosensitive bags, so shops that don't have red light, the fish don't get shocked as soon as the bag is opened.
So that's what that blue bag is?
That's what the blue bag is for, yeah. These are rams. They're bagged individually purely because if you put them all together in such a long period of time, they end up attacking each other, frayed fins and damaged bodies, never good. These are our Siamese fighters. Standard fighter. Good size.
So can you tell us where these fish have come from?
Yeah, sure. These guys came all the way from Singapore. We did 2 lists, one from Sanyo and one from Sunbeam. The Sunbeam came in a 12 box and the Sanyos came in 8 boxes.
So why do you quarantine your fish when you receive them?
We've been doing this a long time, and we feel that quarantine is the best for the fish. Picture it yourself, you go from England to Singapore in one flight. How rough do you feel that you are? I mean, like, it's unbelievable. So if you're from a fish's point of view, we feel that just a rest period of a couple of weeks, just let them calm down, relax, recover.
So while we were adding the fish to quarantine, you were using red lights.
Yes.
So why do you do that?
So this is something that my tutor back in the day when I was about 17 going through my first aquatic course, she mentioned very much as an off-cuff remark, just saying, hey, don't forget guys, fish can't pick up the red part of the spectrum. For whatever reason that has always stuck in my head. And I've used it today from then on, and find that then when you open up the box, there isn't bright white light shining down on them. Fish don't have eyelids, so you've got to protect those eyes, and if you can protect those eyes, they don't get stressed.
When you're quarantining fish, you mentioned that they're in there for a couple of weeks. Yep. So would you say you quarantine them for 2 weeks?
Yep.
And why would you say 2 weeks is a good amount of time?
So 2 weeks is our rough general rule of thumb. If I look at the fish in week 1 and see that, say, like a batch of neons are doing well and they're feeding, they're all at the front of the glass, all looking happy, then I'll cut that quarantine time in half and just say, right, you're ready for sale. That's fine. If I look at some fish and they're still struggling, then they'll stay in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, as however long it takes until those fish are as healthy as I can get them. Customer contacted me the day I was doing the order and said, have you got any green Siamese fighters? Nope, but I'll see if I can find you one.
There it is.
And there we go.
So when you're quarantining your fish, do you use any medication as a staple? And which ones would you use if you do, and why?
So I try not to use chemicals at the very first unbagging. Fish have gone through enough already for me to then start chucking in things like acroflavin, malachite, anti-white spot chemicals, methylene blue, anything like that puts added stress on the fish. I might add a little bit of salt to the mollies, but again, it all hinges on how they come into the water when I let them go.
So when we went into the quarantine room, the tanks were empty.
Yeah.
So how do you make sure that your quarantine tanks are always cycled, ready for your next batch of fish?
So this is going back to the undergravel filters again. My undergravel filters that have been set up for about 15, 20 years, the bacteria colony in there is as tough as old boots. So what we do a week before, we'll do a quick partial water change, just get that water as fresh as possible. We might add a little bacterial accelerator, but as a general rule of thumb, we leave well alone. The bacteria, like I said, is so old in there that I can leave it for a month, 2 months, and then put in, say, like 100 neons, and I don't get any blip in the water quality at all. We will do phosphoric acid in the water for the first couple of days before the fish come in, just to get the pH down to about 7. And then slowly but surely we'll do nickel water changes to bring the pH back up to swimming level of 8.5. So very, very simply, all we're doing, cutting the bag open, gently pour out. Just checking, making sure everyone's moving about, everyone's looking good. We do a small portion first, just as a tester, just to make sure everybody is looking good. Everyone's happy. A little bit of a gulp moment, but they should be all right. Let's start getting these guys out.
pH would you say their fish arrive in?
When we've tested it, it generally comes in at 6.5. The problem is that if you marry 6.5 with 6.5, for some reason the fish just goes into shock. Doesn't like it at all. So we bring them up.
So would you say that they're probably 7 or higher than 7, and because of the ammonia in the bag it's probably brought it down?
Brought it down, yeah. Problem is you're on a bit of a time scale here. You've got to get the water out to test, do a water sample, do an ammonia test, do a nitrite test, do a pH test. Meanwhile, the fish are sitting there going, get me out, get me out, get me out, get me out. So you have to work really quickly. This is the Bolivian ram, Microgeophagus altispinosa. Yeah. They put in black tape like this, which is just a bit of cut up bits of plastic. And all it's meant to do is just break up their line of sight. Again, this is a fish that can get a little bit aggressive to each other while they're in the bag. Looks like they've been alright though.